Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome. Each week on So Fired, we take life's shitty things and turn them into pretty things.
And we share all of our kerfuffles that we encounter in life. And this week, it is time for the year-end wrap-up.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Spotify started it last week, and now we're going to finish it up here on So Fired.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have a So Fired?
It's kind of an open-ended. It's not quite, it hasn't fully. Anyway, as some of you know, I've started recently doing some stand-up comedy. The subject matter in which one particular bit talks.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. The word rape is used. But as you guys know, I am so talented that I can make anything funny, including rape. Now, how is this a So Fired? Well, I've tested it out with my demographic, i.e. Lindsay.
Me.
I trust Lindsay's judgment and her tastes implicitly because they reflect mine. And I do think we represent a larger audience, that we can see the value in this. And so it helps. So we think it's funny. But the problem is that when I perform this particular bit in front of a predominantly male audience that keeps showing up for my open mics, crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like booing.
They were actually, when we went on Tuesday, the guy sitting next to me was laughing hard. Like, he thought it was funny. He's like, oh shit, like what? He's like, oh, what? So there's some men that can find the humor in it because it is funny. If you're a female and you heard the bit, you'd be like, that is all 100% true.
Right.
And the men are like, this is hitting like too close to home.
I'm like, well, who do you think's doing it, bro?
Yeah.
So I think what's So Fired is that now I feel like it's my personal mission to get this out on like a national level. Well, one, because I want to be a successful comedian, but also because now, it's essentially like giving me a challenge to prove to you that like, this is their doing. Why are you not laughing at yourself? Because it's hilarious. So last night when I was having to like, I don't know, does that make it a So Fired? Does that make sense? Like I now am making it a personal mission to like share this message to get more people to like to lose the value of the word and maybe start seeing it the way like a lot of women see it.
I would also add on to your So Fired that when you did the set on Tuesday night, this lady came up to me. She's like, who is that? I'm like, that's Chelsea Toronto. She's like, do you know her? I'm like, yeah, it's my best friend. And she's like, she's good. She's so funny. I'm like, I know, right? And yeah, there are people being like, oh my God, that was funny. Like, oh shit. So there are other people out there that think it's funny.
There is an audience out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having to learn that as well, is that just because the particular audience that showed up for you one night is not necessarily your audience with a capital A.
Yep.
I don't know. So that's a neat thing I learned.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you, Lindsay? What's your So Fired of the week?
Well, staying on brand with being a Disney princess, I was at home yesterday and I had to get some work done. And I hate sitting in silence doing stuff. I always have to have music on or a podcast on or like some kind of background music. And I was out of things. There's nothing that I wanted to listen to. Everything that touched my ears, I was like, this is so annoying. I hate it. And then YouTube must have heard me talking because then they introduced me to the 4K Christmas coffee shop playlist, which also comes with a background of you're in a cozy living room. The fireplace is going. The Christmas decor is up. The windows are frosted.
This is a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know how this found me, but this is amazing. Like, I found a new favorite channel to watch/listen to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can you pull it up?
Yes. Let me find it here. I think it's on my other. I think I can find it.
I like that the very first thing that opened up on your YouTube was So Fired.
Of course. So this. Oh.
All right.
Hold on, everyone. Let's get through the ads. Oh, it's a new background today. But isn't that cozy?
Yeah. Here. Can you guys see this?
Now, you tell me that you don't want to be curled up on the couch having that on your TV.
Laptopping away.
Laptopping away. It was amazing. I'm so happy I found that.
That is a so fired if I've ever heard one.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Lindsay.
Yes.
What is your issue of the week?
My issue of the week, this has just been something ongoing. I am so annoyed with every single celebrity that is saying like, I'm just on Weight Watchers and I've just been walking more. I've been watching what I eat. I'm like, you're on Ozempic, okay? Like, everyone, please admit that you're on Ozempic, because I am so annoyed with, oh, now all of a sudden eating healthy and exercising is why you've dropped 50 pounds. Like, why wasn't that working the other 10 years that you've been a celebrity? You know, that doesn't track. I'm not that dumb. And even Oprah, she showed up to some event. Yes.
Oh, I know.
So skinny. And she's like, it's just Weight Watchers.
Stop lying.
I know. And Kelly Clarkson, she was like never really that heavy. But
she was.
Okay, not as heavy as Oprah.
But she was heavy.
Okay.
That's fine, though.
But yeah, now she's also super skinny. She got like skinnier and skinnier every single week. I'm like, girl, you're on Ozempic. Just like say it. Don't say like my trainer's working me out really hard. I just find it so infuriating that like no one cares. You're just setting a really bad example to everyone who thinks that diet and exercise is going to make you look that way overnight, you know? And I thought that maybe we could have learned a lesson from back in the day. Remember when People magazine would find a new mom that just had birth like a month ago, and then the celebrity was like, this is how I got my baby body back. And they're on the cover a month later. And they're like, I just like ate healthy. I'm breastfeeding. I'm exercising. I'm like, no, bitch, you got like a tummy tuck and liposuction while you're under.
A little bit of cocaine.
Just like, stop lying. Oh, you know what? They should be authentic. Word of the year.
It's terrible how blatantly they just lie to us. And they have no regard for us. And they're like, yeah, they just say whatever. And then we just accept it as the masses. Mm-hmm. It's the public that consumes their media. You guys, yeah.
Even with people are like, oh, I'm doing like ice baths and saunas and everything. Okay, the level of healthcare and amenities that a celebrity has access to is just so far surpassed from the common everyday person. Like, they're doing shit that we don't even know about.
Right.
And they're just like, I just like get a lot of sleep and I don't drink caffeine. Like, no, you're getting like stem cells injected into you so that you're stealing the youth of a baby. Just admit it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I have two issues, one of which is going to piggyback on you. I'm annoyed with celebrities and their veneers.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, the one that's kind of pushed me over the edge is Emily Blunt.
Oh.
She is in a new Netflix show, something along the lines of like Painkillers.
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of a spin-off of the Painkillers, you know, where like they're drug reps for
she's in Pain Hustlers.
And
that's based off of, it's another diversion of Painkillers, which was based on the Oxy pandemic.
Right. Okay. Epidemic.
Epidemic.
Okay. So it's a great show. She does I am a big fan of hers. Well, she has new veneers and it has changed her entire face as you know it. And it was challenging because you're looking at it and you're missing the Emily Blunt that you have grown up with in the last like 20 years. And she's not there anymore. And you're like, who is this creature?
Yeah. Veneers always seem to widen out the mouth and then you almost end up protruding your lips out a little bit more. So there's extra teeth there. And
it like made part of her cheeks gout. What's that word?
Gouge.
Gouge.
Oh, sink in?
Yeah. Just like, this is a hard thing to swallow. She just doesn't look like the same person anymore. And I don't know why celebrities, you do have a lot of resources, so why wouldn't you get veneers that like complement your face?
I just feel like, yeah, veneers in general, you got to be careful with those because you're literally adding in a different shape to your entire mouth. So you're going to look different. Even, I think Taylor Swift got a couple new veneers. Mm-hmm.
And it's not fair. You're changing. I don't know. You don't realize to what extent that we like you for the way you look. And then when you change, it's hard to adjust to that. Oprah and your Ozempic.
We're on to you.
Oh, I'm just annoyed. I guess I'm annoyed today. But what's my other? Oh, my other issue is this is just a quirk. I'm cool with not showering. I think power to the people. I think showering daily can sometimes be more than necessary.
Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, whatever you choose. Should you choose not to shower, cool. No judgment. But if you choose not to wash your hair, that is also fine. But if I am walking by you in the grocery store and I can smell your dirty hair,
ugh,
I gotta tell you, it is one of my biggest issues.
Yuck.
It is like one of my founding issues for decades now. I don't want to smell your dirty hair.
No, I hate that smell.
I had it today and it was maybe that's what set me off.
Coming in hot with your smelly hair.
Just like, what's going on?
Ugh.
I also have an issue with sometimes my mood. I can't get it back. Like I didn't realize, I thought I was in a pretty good mood. I was upbeat. I got out. I didn't realize that none of my roommates were home. I saged the shit out of my house. It was like a torch. The sagebrush realized that it had some work to do. And I was in a good mood. I bebopped over to Starbucks. I had the dogs. Gorgeous day out. And then something happened. Something reared its ugly head. And I'm like, I just want to fuck with people today. And I didn't realize it. It wasn't like a very conscious like thought like, ooh, let's fuck. But I was just like, and another thing. I want to.
What, can you pinpoint it to like one thing?
No, it just happened.
And
then I did it. And I kind of messed with this girl. I was like, why are you fucking with my thing? And then tit-tat. And it was like, do you want to meet about it? I was like, yeah. And then I just called the boss and was like, what the fuck? I thought you liked me a lot. He's like, I do. Do you need to come in? And I was like, no, I just want to work. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why. My mental health, I think the real issue is my mental health. I'm not always in control.
No. And then I think that's what happens is that something very minute happened. The breeze blew the wrong way. And you're like, fuck you guys. And the breezy blew went on.
It's not great. I wish I was in control more than I am. Where you could just be like, knock it off and get back on track.
I mean, I didn't say you're in a bad mood. I was just like, yeah, you do sound like you feel like fucking with people. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to fuck with me? I'm like, okay, that's fine.
No, I just wanted you to make sure you use the most of your days off.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I should have come. I was like, well, you totally could have come.
And then I thought about it. So Chelsea went hiking yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't even like hiking. So why would
It's not a hike though. It's a walk.
Okay.
It is a flat walk.
Okay.
Maybe 3 hours in, there's a little bit of an incline, but there is none. It's just pebbles. There's no incline. You're just walking.
Just walking.
And there's a beautiful water, like glistening in the sun. That's where the elk drink water. And then you see fly fishermen. It's beautiful. I wouldn't trick you into hiking. You need to give me more credit than that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think like I can try it out.
I hate when I have to twist your arm to do the shit that I know you very, very well. You should trust. Okay,
I trust. Okay.
Let's get on to stuff.
All right, let's get on to it. Before we get to our topics, we have to tell you about our favorite sponsor, 3 Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So some of the best inventions, experiences, and connections all happened over a drink. Alcohol has been the wingwoman to connections for centuries, but in the age of self-driving cars and meat-free meat like chicken, 3 Spirit has created a line of botanical drinks to enhance your connections without having to settle for boring soda water with a lime. Whether you want to be the life of the party or have a Netflix and chill night, 3 Spirit offers botanical drinks for every mood without the hangover. Check out our full review of the entire line on YouTube, and we'll give you the real on what you definitely need to try out and something that you can skip. Visit us.3spiritdrinks.com/SoFired, code SoFired for 15% off your entire order. Woo! There we go. All right. So we have a year-end recap because tis the season, right? So I thought we could start off with listing off a couple of our like favorite episodes or favorite clips of episodes that we really enjoy. Do you have one?
I do. What are yours?
Okay, I was like, one of my favorite episodes is when we had Lindsay Schwartz on.
Oh, sure.
That was a good one, and I really needed that episode in my life at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really fun one, and I feel like we also gained a lot of momentum with that episode. So it's very exciting. And then I'm gonna have to find the exact episode, or like whenever we started to change the template of the show.
Which was what? Tell me.
Instead of just trying to come up with one topic to talk about the whole time, now we could talk nonsense about multiple things, and it's my favorite thing to do in the entire world. So maybe August, did we start doing that? September?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And they're just my favorites. So every single episode that we've done in the past few months has been my favorite. And let's see, one more. Oh, there's a couple clips that we have on YouTube, and the comments are disabled because people have nothing nice to say. And when they have nothing nice to say, our comments get disabled.
By whom?
By YouTube.
What?
Yeah. So one of them is from one of our recent episodes when we're talking about Jennifer Lawrence being full frontal in that movie. And you're like, I kind of look like that. I'm like, yeah, your boobs do kind of look like that.
Oh, your chicken cutlets.
Oh, your chicken cutlets. I mean, your chicken cutlets do look like that. And so people were like, you think you look like Jennifer Lawrence? Oh my God, delusional much? And just going off. And I like to comment and troll back.
And what do you say?
I'm like, yeah, fact. I'm like, stating facts. We're not wrong.
We should do a side by side. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. So I love trolling them when they troll us. So those are some of my favorite moments.
Same. Agreed. Exactly what Lindsay said.
Okay. So here's a thinker. What's the hardest thing that happened to you this year? And what did you learn from that?
I think this is an obvious response that I haven't necessarily changed the landscape of a part of my life. I.e., I still live in a living situation that I think what's hard about it is that I keep, in one sense, I recognize that it's not serving me, to say the least. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, it makes me sad for myself how much I downplay it and how much I am really in denial. Mm-hmm. And how I excuse away, how I just make excuses, and how much I'm just lying to myself to say that the circumstances, it's fine. So I think while it's not one particular thing that happened, maybe something bad happened or something challenging. If that did, I don't really remember it. But like I think the incidences that are challenging, usually it's always around that.
Sure. Yeah, agreed.
So the fact that I'm very much still in denial, and at times I'll catch a whiff of it and I'll be like, boy, am I lying to myself? Boy, am I missing out on life? If only I would do something about it. So that's that. What about you, Lindsay?
I have 3 things. So the first one is when there was a shooter in my office and that targeted my poor intern. And that was traumatic. I wasn't even there and I was still in shock when I came in the next day to see a bullet hole in your wall and like someone was actively trying to hurt someone. Like that was unsettling. So it just reminded me, we have to keep on living our lives and you literally never know when something like that could happen.
Oh, I know.
And, I was afraid, like everyone was afraid. I'm like, but I have to keep on going because if I just stop doing what I'm doing, then that's not going to solve anything either.
I think that might be your theme.
Yeah.
It's just keep on going.
Just keep on going.
I don't know what 2 and 3 are.
Yeah, it's along the same theme. Like when I sold my office and then unsold my office a week later because I was just sick to my stomach about what was going on. Yeah, and everyone wanted me back. So it's good to be back. But it's also like, I think maybe my ego got in the way a little bit where I should have just let it go. But then also at the same time, I'm like, I was sick to my stomach. I could not let it go like that.
Why would you think that? I think it's okay the way, whatever you chose to do is the right thing.
Yeah, I think it does all work out how it's supposed to work out. And it's working out just fine. But then part of me is like, well, if I would have just like sold it and not gotten what I wanted for it, I would have been moved on from that chapter of my life sooner. So instead, I'm moving on from it like 6 months later. But I guess, yeah, just like keep on going. And then the last thing is my poor little Layla pup that passed away suddenly. Oh my God, that's like the hardest thing ever out of all the things. I'm still not over it. I'm still crying every single day. And I'm just like so heartbroken. I never knew how intense grief could be. And I'm like, whoa. So I have a whole new appreciation for grieving people and grief of all forms, because it will just come and smack you upside the head when you do not expect it. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying, because a dog looked at me and that made me cry. So that's been really hard. But I did come to terms with just being grateful for the 8 years that I had with her. And just like anytime you have Butch and Sunny, I'm like, oh my God, like cherish all these moments. Like make sure you take them wherever you can take them. And everyone who has a dog, please take them everywhere that you can take them, because you only have so much time with them. And you're going to be annoyed with them sometimes, but just be grateful that you can be annoyed with them. Like sometimes Leia would wake me up way too early in the morning. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I love your cute little snoot in my face. So I guess, yeah, just being resilient and moving on is the lesson learned for the year. Mm-hmm. All right. So next question. What's your biggest goal for next year?
I would like to be in love.
What does that look like?
It looks like having a stable, ongoing relationship with someone that I care about and trust, that worships me. Mm-hmm. Because I do feel strongly, and we've talked about this the other day, where it's like relationships are best if one person likes the other person more. And in this fantasy, they like me more.
I like that.
I like it too. Because up till this point, I don't know that I've ever had that. Okay, maybe once in my life, but not recently. So I would like that. I'd like a very stable relationship in which they are there and we can enjoy life together. Obviously, yeah. So that's what that looks like.
And we would be double dating.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I know.
As well.
I do too. It'd be really fun. And just living life with an additional person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really, happiness all the time.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm pretty happy. I have nothing to say, but then I'm like, well, there could be depth added to my life with the addition of that. And when I think about the challenging thing about this relation, like my current situation, is maybe I'm approaching it the wrong way, or there's another way in which to approach it, rather get happy and have fun. And then other things start to fall in place. So perhaps that will help me there.
I think so. We got to get a team together, pool our resources to find someone for you.
Yeah, I do think, because you know what? I'm not able to do it on my own. And what I've learned, one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year, I don't know if that's on our questions, but one of the biggest lessons I've learned was that I don't have to do okay, you know, they always say this, but this is annoying. But I learned to actually do it, where I was like, I can't do this. I don't do this. This is not me. This will hold me back for weeks. And I'm like, Lindsay, will you do this? And then I can keep moving forward. There's a lot of things in my life where I'm just like, there's such a mental block. And I now know that I'm like, I can just like, Lindsay will do it for me. And I'm so lucky to have that. And then I could just keep moving along. I don't know. It's just been a number of things where I'm just like, I have someone who can help me.
Yeah, you got me. And I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah, Next. It's been so great. You know, that's been really, but like allowing myself to like, I don't know how to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm lucky enough to have someone in my ring. So there's that.
That's a good lesson learned.
Yeah. So that being said, I need all of our So Fired listeners to keep an eye out, because 2024 is the year.
Chelsea's finding love.
Love finds me.
Yep.
I don't want to actively like hunt for it. I think that goes against everything we talk about here, but like I'd like it to fall into my lap within the first 3 months of 2024. And I'd like to be up and running by like March if we could.
All right, guys.
I do. I really do. Because, enough's enough. Like time is passing. And while we have to like celebrate it with our pups and our loved ones, like I would like to start living a life that includes love.
We better get one manifestation vision board dedicated just to this one person.
I think so.
I think that's it. And just focus on that.
Yeah, everything else comes. Like I'm very happy with my comedic career, our podcast. I think they're one and the same. I think we were exactly right to say, Chelsea, take a risk doing comedy and that it will yield so much more for So Fired. All right. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, well, that goes with my biggest goal for next year. It's to be famous podcasters.
No shit, right? Fuck love. Let's just be famous podcasters.
I just want to get paid full-time money to sit here and talk nonsense. Okay? Like,
you guys like us.
Yeah. So keep on sharing the show so that we can start getting paid.
Yeah.
What we're worth.
Yes. Because there's no one out there doing what we do better than us.
I agree.
Kinda. I mean, like, there might be a few other people that are doing it in addition to us, but I don't know that they're necessarily better. We're upbeat and we're cute and we giggle a lot. We're not always complaining.
No.
I really think that we're great.
I think we're great. So everyone needs to know how great we are. And actually, you know what? Our YouTube subscribers are really bouncing off the charts like every week. We get like 10 to 20 new people.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Lindsay's so optimistic. God, you guys are really lucky to have her in your life.
Because no matter what, it can always get worse. So like everything.
It really can.
It can always get worse. And honestly, nothing in my life is so like dire life or death, like make or break.
Really?
No, like there's always resources. I'm a very resourceful person. I always have good support around me. So I think maybe that's why I'm always eternally optimistic.
I don't know. It's just your DNA. I have a lot of resources, but I am just an Eeyore. I take a lot of pharmaceuticals to hide that from you guys. But if I didn't, I don't know that you'd be here.
Here's a question. What was your biggest time waster this year? I know mine. I accidentally got back on TikTok. And now, days of my life are sucked into TikTok.
This is a really good question. I don't know. Give me a second to think about that. You know how you told me I have to accept the fact that I enjoy vaping?
Yes.
That my life is better as a result of vaping?
Yes.
I got to be honest. It really is. It really is.
Yeah. So, like, why would you stop?
I could say the same thing about you for TikTok.
Oh. I don't know if it's really enhancing my life, though.
Oh, it is. You bring a lot of content to the podcast. We learn a lot through it. It allows you to continue to have your finger on the pulse of society and pop culture. I really don't think you should. Maybe you should reframe how you view TikTok. And while maybe you think it's a waste, you really do glean quite a bit from it that you share with me.
That is true. It's my news source.
It's everybody's news source. I really feel like we would be missing out on life and a larger conversation if we weren't a part of it. Because one thing I did learn this year. This is another thing. I learned a lot this year, actually. Yeah. I not to take this over, but one thing I learned is it's okay to be a part of the masses. Like, it's okay to be on TikTok and like doing the trends. It's okay to like follow whatever clothing trend or makeup trend, or it's okay to read the book and be a part of it. It's actually more fun to join the group than it is to be like, nah, I don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, welcome to my world. I am part of the masses.
And I just learned to love that, right? And so you could be in watching the Netflix series as everybody else is, and so you can participate, not 6 months later. Like, why was I so reluctant to watch Yellowstone?
Me too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know better. I wasn't right.
But honestly, like, even though we just started watching it this year, everyone is still talking about it. I am obsessed. I am hooked. And every time someone is asking me what I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I'm watching Yellowstone. They're like, oh my God, did you see this? I'm like, what did you think about this? And even if they watched it a year or two ago. So luckily we didn't quite miss the boat on that one. But yeah, I don't know why we were so reluctant to watch it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did I lose a lot of time? I would say Instagram. Instagram. I lost a lot of hours of my life on Instagram.
But you are making good content.
It's a double,
a lot of engagement, and like people want more. So
it is a double-edged, like it's a catch-22, right? There was a requirement, but then there's like it would track how many times I'm on it, and I'm on it like 8 hours a day just checking numbers. Mm-hmm. So there is that like obsessive compulsive component to it outside of creating content.
Yeah.
That's the ugly side. Like I actually have to wear glasses now when looking at my phone because I blew out my eyesight with that first viral video.
I mean, I did actually waste a lot of time on Instagram as well. And now I'm just like not on it anymore.
I know. And I got to tell you, my numbers are not thriving. So when I look on it, it's like only one person liked something. I'm like,
I hate the control that likes have over me on Instagram. I think that's just why like posting on TikTok, even if we don't have 10,000 followers, we get way more likes.
Yeah.
And people are saving stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're more accepted over on TikTok.
Yeah. We're just, I should convert to TikTok, but well, you told me a year ago to get started on Instagram. So I could.
I mean, you have a good following on Instagram. Instagram just ended up not being my people. I think because my stuff was I followed too many personal development and like business lady entrepreneurs. And like, that's not the people that I'm trying to target with my
Maybe it was
stuff.
At one point.
Yeah.
I think it just isn't who we ended up with.
Totally. So yeah, but I think your audience is all over Instagram.
And I have an audience on Instagram.
Yes, you do.
I think we could have an audience wherever we choose to go.
That's true.
Yeah.
And YouTube. Okay, so next question. What was the most fun you had this year?
What was the most fun you had this year?
A couple things. Whiskey Row. Yeah. Always a blast.
Which one?
Like the first time we went, I was like, ah!
Which one? Is that the one when Connor was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he was like bodyguarding us so no one could talk to us or dance with us.
Is that when we were sitting on the couch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was a good time.
Is that when we lost him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not intentionally, but that just happens to be the same night in which we couldn't find him.
And we were enlightened, the perfect amount.
Yeah, that's
oh man, the music was good.
Everything was magical.
The weather was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We could be outside. Oh my God. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And then my other favorite fun time was 4th of July because we had family in town and we rented out a 4Runner. So Layla and I sat in the way back of the 4Runner, back window down the whole time. And I could see the world through her point of view and just like looking out the window with her. And I'm like looking at her look out the window. She's having such a good time. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I can die now because she's the happiest. I'm the happiest. Like, so that fresh air and views will really light up your endorphins.
You know, Lindsay gives me such a hard time. You know, I say all these things, and at the end of the day, I'm always right. I'm always talking about fresh air.
Yeah, I'm always talking about fresh air.
She's always making fun of me, but it's a beautiful thing. All right, go on. What else did you have fun with?
I mean, those are like my top 2.
Those are your top 2?
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
No.
Okay. I would say Whiskey Row 100%. I would say my 4th of July was epic. It was the most magical experience ever. I would say just under the wire here, Monday I went skiing, and that was the most magical experience I've had skiing. It was by myself. It was a gorgeous day out. I made some real progress. I actually physically pushed my boundaries. I was terrified. It paid off. I feel like it shook up my snow globe, rearranged some like energetic molecules in my body, and I came back a different person. Let's not forget my 10-day solo backpacking trip.
Oh, yeah.
At times very difficult and maybe not the fun in the traditional sense, but it definitely was one of the most rewarding experiences ever.
Will you do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
It's good to be alone. It's good to like go off the grid even if you are in contact with people and you like look at the internet, it's nice to just remove yourself from your day to day. So then when you do come back, you have like, you're fresh and revitalized back into your life, and then or make changes that just no longer serve you. What else?
Well, we had a really great Thanksgiving.
I know. I just temporarily forgot that. That was probably my favorite holiday of all times.
Wow.
Oh, 100%. I can't think of another holiday that was, because I felt safe and accepted, and I could just like bask in like love and fun and just like easy.
So easy.
Just easy.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that before.
No expectations.
Zero. I did some different drugs this year. That was kind of exciting.
My next question was going to be what's something new that you did this year? You did some new drugs.
I did. They're all psychedelics, so don't get excited. These aren't street drugs. Don't get.
I think that's the only new thing I did this year was try out some new drugs.
Super fun. Learning to like backpack was a big undertaking. There's a lot more to it than just like hiking at altitude and like equipment. It's like learning to push your limits and like, what am I capable of? And especially when I did go backpacking, it was not easy and a lot of things went sideways. So yeah.
That you learned stand-up comedy?
Oh yeah. Somehow I forget like the year didn't end at September.
No, it's still going.
It's still not done yet.
Still not done, but that's a new thing.
What else?
What else did you learn or do something new?
I feel like I lost friends.
I also feel like I lost friends.
I don't feel like I was as socially engaged this year as I was last year. I felt like I was doing a lot more social things, and for that, I am feeling a loss.
I feel that. I feel like this year is the year that I've worked the hardest and worked like the most hours in a week, like in a month. I've actually like never have worked so many days in my life. So then my social calendar went downhill because I didn't have free time to hang out with people, which is unfortunate.
You chose not to take advantage of those nighttime hours.
Yeah.
Because you might have been too tired.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Because I do, I have a pet peeve where people are like, I work from 8 to 5. So I can't do anything at 6. And you're like, but I have to work at 8. And you're like, okay. I can't stay up late. Well, technically you could. And you'd be fine. Like people put limitations on the hours in which they allow themselves to have fun.
Yeah, I totally do that because I'm like, I'm tired.
Which is funny because that's not like you at all.
I mean, I do go to bed very early.
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of going to bed early, I had to perform last night at like 12:30, and like I just was like, guys, oh, it's not that late. I was like, I go to bed at 9:30. And yes, it's late to be performing and trying to entertain you guys, even when you don't even give me an inch.
Right.
Ugh, these people. Anyway.
Well, next week we'll go earlier. Let's see. I guess this isn't quite new, but I haven't played piano in quite a long time. So
not since COVID.
Yeah, not since COVID. It's been a couple years. And now I'm actually like dedicated to learning some new songs. So that's my newer hobby, my rediscovered hobby. Yeah, I think that's all the new things. Not too many new things. Hopefully 2024 is more new things.
My Instagram was a new thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the first and second quarter of my life.
That seems like such a long time ago.
March is when it first hit.
Wow. It seems like it's been years.
I know. I know. Honest to God. It was like March until May was Instagram, then hiking until September. Not even. It probably came to an abrupt end August 1st. And then whatever comedy. I like dive in head first with whatever the thing is.
Yeah, I like that. All right, one last question. Everyone has their People of the Year list. Taylor Swift is on one. So who else is on another one? She was on Time. And then there's like Sexiest Man of the Year. All the things. So if you had to pick a person of the year, who would it be? Who's your person of the year?
Who's your person of the year?
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, who do I constantly look up on Instagram, or who am I always following and like curious to see what they're doing? This is going to be kind of random, but it's Claudia from The Toast.
Oh.
She's on Ozempic and she ain't afraid to say it. And I'm happy that she does that because no one believes your bullshit of, oh, just
Yeah.
like diet and exercise. So
Thank you for staying authentic.
thank you.
But
I've just been like following her a lot more and watching the show a lot more because I kind of like to see like what their dynamic and banter is and like how we can bring it to our show a little bit more. So it's also like research. And then also her sweet angel dog literally just passed away last night.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. So like her dog also kind of, I'm like, oh, we're like kind of bonded because it's like the same thing. Like it was like very sudden.
Are you gonna send her a message?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel for you so much. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're always doing some fun stuff, or like she is always posting about her dog and influencer things. And I just find it interesting. I don't know if she's not like a cultural impact of any kind, but I find it to be entertaining.
So are those your two people?
Mm-hmm.
On a celebrity standpoint, I actually think it's Hannah.
Burner.
I find myself thinking about her quite a bit. She's, as her comedic role as a comedian, I really admire her. I admire how she is comfortable in her skin. She wears whatever she wants unapologetically. I haven't been this motivated and like inspired by another woman in a really long time. But that's not my person of the year.
Oh, it's not.
You are.
Me.
You have had such a shitty year.
Such a shit
It
year.
has literally been a fucking dumpster fire for you.
It has been.
And you are doing such a great job. I was like, God damn.
Thanks.
It's been so bad.
It's been very shitty. lot.
Shitty. It was
Mhm.
just like, remember last year we were like, I don't anticipate things getting going and positive until like Q2. Remember
Yeah.
vividly saying that?
Yeah.
It just got worse.
Yeah.
And I'm real sorry. But what is inspiring, and the reason, everyone's like, of course you were going to pick Lindsay. No, I'm telling you, if you knew how hard she had it this year, you deserve my Person of the Year award.
Thanks. Yeah. This has been the hardest year
Ever.
Like, when is it going to be over?
No, this poor Disney princess. She has had her ass handed to her.
Yeah.
Luckily, you have a small ass, so it's helpful, but it just kept coming and kept getting served.
It's like every quarter there's something.
Uh-huh.
Some big thing. Not even like little small things that are annoying. No, big things.
Yeah, because I do think small annoying things don't even register on your scale.
No.
That's how well adjusted you are. So it took some pretty epic things to kind of rattle your cage a little bit, but then you got right back up. And never did you ever put that on anyone. No one else suffered. You were never you weren't constantly talking about it. Quickly you'd be like, well, how's your day? It's like, oh God, selfless, always thinking of others. So positive and upbeat.
When shit keeps hitting the fan repeatedly, you just got to learn to like embrace it and wear it and move on. And like, I don't want to be bringing people down with me. Like, you didn't ask to be a part of this, or like, this isn't happening to you. So like, why am I going to try to, it's almost like victim. I'm playing a victim if I'm like, oh my God, like this happened. Like, me complaining is just like so miserable for everyone. I mean, and for myself. Like, I don't want to live in complaining mode.
However, yes.
Yeah.
On paper, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be done. But 99% of the time, no one has that kind of like internal strength to do that. The discipline, the constitution in which like you're thinking of a greater good. So I don't know. It's impressive. You continue to inspire me.
Well, thanks.
I do have an honorable mention for Person of the Year
Okay.
in my life. I'm actually going to give it to my mom.
Oh, I did not see that coming.
I know. And not necessarily her as like but I really admire the fact that she created a plan and saw it through. And so she moved to Mexico, right? And she lives there and she's happy. I'm going to go visit her here for the holidays. I am very, very proud of her.
That is a really good one. Yeah, she did it.
She fucking did it.
I think we all had our doubts.
She's a legend kind of in certain circles.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like she's quirky and also kind of a pain in my ass, but that's the mother-daughter relationship. But if I didn't know her on that level, I'd be like, God damn, look at that woman at 70, whatever she is, like doing it.
That is inspiring.
It was really
Mhm.
inspiring. Like, I don't know that many ladies who are like starting a new chapter.
Well, I think I should take a chapter out of her book and just go with the plan and stick with it. Go all in.
It was a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one. Okay, well, 2024 literally has to be better.
Well, don't say that because technically
Okay,
it's gonna be better.
it's going to be better.
It's gonna be so much. We've already got some things on the horizon.
We do.
We're putting a lot of things in motion.
So yeah, 2024 is going to be better. And I hope at the end of 2024, I can report back and be like, I made new friends. I did cool shit. I
am an official podcaster.
Yeah, woo.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
I would like to resume reading.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I took 23 off from reading.
That's okay. You know, you are right back in it again.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have a dollhouse completed this year.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So we're kind of nerds, and we love that about ourselves. But luckily, we are. Lindsay wasn't always into miniatures, right? But you know that she made me tiny houses, so she's coming around. I have a dollhouse that I got. It was my favorite gift from Christmas, like when I was 10. So I still have it, and it has never been.
It's never been decorated.
It's never like
or completed.
Completed. Like you got to put the siding on, you got to put the shingles on the roof, the whole thing, put the electricity in. And I was like, I can't do this, but I know somebody who can. So together we're going to do this. I don't know. We should donate it then to one of our listeners.
Yeah, we should.
Ooh. So if anyone needs a Christmas present for 2024, you can have the So Fired dollhouse.
Yep. Complete with a podcasting room, kind of like modern contemporary styling.
We should give
a dog wash area.
Yeah. We should like a fireplace with like sofas, like a lounge area. So the lucky recipient of this dollhouse, we can like design a room with them in mind.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Ooh, that's fun.
I know.
I just came up with that on the spot.
All right. Well, reflect on these questions that we're talking about today, like what your biggest goal was, what you learned from this year, and what you have to look forward to in 2024. And make sure you share this episode with your besties, all of them, all one of them, if you're me. And make sure you follow and subscribe at So Fired Pod on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Not next time.
Next time.
Next year.
I mean, I think this is still coming out in December.
Yeah, but after this time, we're going to see you next time.
Next time.
And you know what? Can you believe we're celebrating another Christmas together with our So Fired family?
Yay.
It's hard to believe. It helps, makes you so nostalgic.
It does.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.